Let's look at some reaction now. First, this from Sonia Gallego, who is at The Hague for us with the latest.
In just half an hour, the International Criminal Court issued the warrant for the arrest of Libya's three most wanted men, Muammar Gaddafi, his son Saif, and Muammar Gaddafi's right-hand man, Abdallah al-Senussi. All three men charged with crimes against humanity. All those charges were submitted in a 74-page dossier that was submitted by the chief prosecutor himself, Luis Moreno Campo. In that dossier, it detailed evidence, so the International Criminal Court says, of the crimes against humanity. That includes the targeting of unarmed civilians in the public spaces and in their own homes. Also, the unlawful detention and persecution of those civilians. Now, the chief prosecutor has indicated that it is pretty much up to the Libyans themselves to try and go ahead and arrest the three men, but that will be where the challenge is at, to try and arrest those three men and bring them over here to The Hague, which will be the next step at this stage.
From The Hague, we go to Benghazi, the opposition stronghold in Libya. Zeina Khodr there for us. Looks like people are out in their numbers there. Zeina, what's the reaction been like?
Well, a mood of jubilation, celebration. Actually, right after the news emerged that the arrest warrants were issued, people were honking their car horns, firing into the air, and they all converged here at the square, right in front of the courthouse, which really has a lot of symbolic meaning. It was here where the rebellion started in the city of Benghazi. It was here where protesters were actually shot dead by Gaddafi's security forces. So a lot of people feel that today really is all about justice being served. You talk to any Libyan today, they never used to be able to speak openly. They would just come up to you and tell you their story, and most of their stories really are about arrests, detentions, trials without any lawyers, torture. So this is really an important day, and the news of the arrest warrants was also welcomed really by the Transitional National Council here in Benghazi. They welcomed this, but they also said that it closes the door to any political settlement to this conflict.
Zeina, an arrest warrant is one thing, an actual arrest is another. Are people there pragmatic, realistic about the idea of this actually being acted on, about Muammar Gaddafi being arrested?
Well, at this point, not many are realistic. They are hopeful. Most of them say, yes, it will happen. We will be able to capture him. But you have to really ask a number of questions. Gaddafi still has a tight control in the Libyan capital. You talk to anyone who was in Tripoli, who just returned a few days ago, and they'll tell you there's security services everywhere. The people have not been able really to rise up against the regime. So there seems to be some effort here to try to establish some sort of underground network to start an uprising from within, but they won't be able to do that unless they receive help from outside. And this is what rebels have been trying to do, push towards Tripoli from more than one front, but so far they haven't been able to do that. So, and most people are really worried that following the issue of the arrest warrant, Gaddafi may fight even harder because he's going to be fighting for his own survival.
Zeina Khodr with a live update from Benghazi in Libya. Thank you, Zeina.